This feels like some type of cruel joke. I got leaner than ever, and it was one of the easiest things I've ever done. And I say it's a cruel joke because how many women are out there, and myself included, I've been a part of this, you're willing to do whatever it takes. You're willing to do whatever workout, whatever diet, to lose weight, get results, get a good body. Like, you're willing to do whatever it takes, only to find out that it actually can be a lot easier than most people present. This video here is like phase 2 of a recent video I did, recent being like a few months ago, where I covered that I get better results by doing easier, low impact workouts. And I was actually nervous about posting that video because I'm like, I don't know who needs to hear this. I don't know what kind of blowback I'm gonna get. The feedback I got was astounding. It was so positive. The amount of women that were thanking me that they had this realization, but they needed a kind of validation. And this is like phase 2, next level, just easy tweaks you can make to your daily life that make all the difference. I think this message is more important than ever as people are getting so frustrated. They're not getting results. They're not sustaining results, whatever it is. And they're at the point now where they're like, you know what? There's these medications out there. They're going to get me results. I'm willing to take on the risk. I get it. I've taken on risks with things like Accutane. Your girl had really bad acne. I almost went on it a second time until my husband reminded me just how bad and just how dry things were. I ended up going to a holistic doctor instead, Dr. Duke. Shout out, Tampa. If you're there, you got a problem. Yeah. But I've taken risks too. I can understand why people are resorting to these measures, but we're already hearing how dangerous it is. I can only imagine what we're going to find out in 2 years. So I just want to present the possibility that just by adopting extremely easy things consistently, you may be astounded by what your results are. So what I'm going to share with you is how I accidentally figured this out, exactly what I did. I'm going to even get specific on what my day-to-day looked like. We all like specifics. It's really nice to know what we could do when somebody gives us specifics. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to share with you why I think these easy things work so well, why I know for a fact these things were what made a difference. And then I'm gonna wrap up, give you some other perspective. I'm sure I'm gonna go on tangents as well. Before we get into that though, for anyone that's like, Rachel, where have you been? It's been a few months since you posted a video. I actually stepped back because it was just, I just needed a break. And with YouTube, you get kicked in the teeth a lot. You get haters. I'm sensitive. But I've realized anything worth doing, people are gonna disagree with you. That's okay. I'm here for the people that will benefit from my content, and messages like this one, I really truly believe can help women and can be easy, doesn't have to cost a lot of money. I'm going to cover more content like this. I'm going to start putting my efforts in building out more resources to support women, especially because I feel like much of my life history, which some of you know about, my dark diet ED history, has led me up to this. I just feel like in many ways this is a part of my life's work. My mission is to help people get out of the kind of hell I was in and get results. You can have both. You can have great results and it doesn't have to be so hard. That's really the biggest realization I have in many ways. So we'll get right into the video, starting with how I accidentally figured this out. So how I accidentally figured this out and the subtle tweaks I made. Early in the year, my work bestie reached out and she told me that she was doing this challenge called 75 Medium. 75 Medium is a lighter version of the viral trend 75 Hard, where for 75 days consecutively, you complete a list of tasks. If you miss any of the tasks within that 75 days, you have to start that 75 days all over. I have a full video on the details of this and tips you want to know. So if you're like, you know what, I want to try this out, you'll have to watch that video after this one. But with 75 Medium, the tasks include getting a 45-minute workout every day, drinking a gallon of water every day, reading 10 pages of a nonfiction book every day, taking a progress photo every day, and no alcohol. Okay? These 5 things every single day. If you miss one of them, one of the days, you got to start all over. So that's pretty simple enough, but if I'm you, I'm like, okay, spell this out for me. Tell me exactly what each day looked like for you. So I would wake up each day. First thing I would do is take a progress photo, because believe it or not, in the 75-day challenge, this is what most people failed on because it's so simple that it's so easy to forget. And that is the theme in this whole video. The thing that is really easy to do is just as easy not to do. Progress photo being one of those things. So I'd wake up first thing in the morning, take a progress photo, then I would start the process of drinking water. So I always have this Yeti with me. I would drink at least 4 of these every day. 1 in the morning before my coffee, because I'm back to drinking coffee. I quit for a little bit, but I love it so much. I'm back to drinking coffee. I'm sorry, I'm not sorry. This before coffee. I'd have one before lunch. I'd have a Yeti after lunch, and then around dinner time. It wasn't like I was guzzling these Yetis, but like I just was drinking water throughout the day. And the thing about staying hydrated is the more hydrated you are, the more hydrated you want to be. It's like you crave water. I think we all have recognized this to some extent, but it's just as easy not to get enough water and be like, oh my gosh, all I've been doing is drinking coffee all day, or whatever your beverage of choice is. So I drink water throughout the day. Whenever I would have a pocket of time, I would read 10 pages of a nonfiction just to have it off the list, because there's like this paranoia that you're gonna miss one of these things and have to start all over again. Now, there are systems you can put in place to help you not forget, but I just like to stay on top of things. My workouts really included either walking, like I do love long walks. I live in an awesome area for walks. I live right near the St. Petersburg Pier, so I'll do like a long 90-minute walk a few times a week. But some days I would just be like, oh shoot, I need to get 45 minutes of an activity in. I'm just gonna go for a 45-minute walk, whatever. I really didn't put too much pressure on it. Walking was a big one. Hamlin model workout still is probably my favorite workout. I love it so much. Hamlin is completely rebranding his offering, but I reached out to his team. If you do want to purchase the model workout 1, which is my favorite, that's the one I've done consistently. When I did a program, like I haven't really been following the program to a T, but I just sprinkle in the workouts every now and then, probably like 3 times a week. I just enjoy it, I love it. So that's available. I also did one of his arm workouts. It's technically 43 minutes, but I figured like I would walk through the day and it would tally up to 45 minutes. His arm workout, there was a while there where people were DMing me on my Instagram and people would ask me what I was doing for my arms because my arms were looking slimmer, and it was because I was doing that arm workout, especially on the days where I was like, oh shoot, it's the end of the day, it's 9 o'clock at night, I haven't got any activity in, because that would happen. Walking, Hamlin DeBell, arm workout, or rebounding. Okay, especially towards the end of the challenge where I was starting to lose steam a bit and I was like, oh gosh, what am I gonna do for today's 45-minute workout? Okay, this is one of the things where it's like I accidentally learned how powerful something so simple is. So I had this Cellerciser. I have made several videos on the Cellerciser. I sincerely believe it is the best rebounder. And I realize like I don't trust anyone when they're pushing a particular brand, but I am 100% convinced it is the best one you can get. So much so, yes, I have an affiliate link. Yes, I get a commission whenever somebody uses my link, which I certainly appreciate. But if you can find one in your area that somebody's selling on Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, whatever, purchase that. You can save a bunch of money. They are so durable, like you're fine buying a used one. The thing is, if you do get a Cellerciser, when you do get them, they are squeaky, but there's oil I'll link for you. It just lubricates it and doesn't make a noise. Just to quickly give you like a rundown of why it's so great, it provides resistance. You need some level of resistance to work your muscles. And so there are some rebounders people love. They're very soft. It's like bouncing on a cloud. They're like, Rachel, I thought you were smart. How did you not know that this rebounder is much better? And it's like, it feels softer. It feels like you're on a cloud, but you need resistance. So that's why I'm like a big believer in Cellerciser. And the thing was, there were days I would just baby bounce on the Cellerciser for 45 minutes. Especially as the challenge went on, I did that more and more and more. And I could not believe how lean I was getting. It's one of those things where you're like, how on earth am I getting a workout from this? How on earth am I getting a crazy workout from Hamlin? It doesn't feel like it, but it's so powerful. So I did not go into it with a strict formula. If you're like, Rachel, how many times a week, what exactly did you do? Exactly, what did you do? Don't overthink it. Just get 45 minutes of something, whether it's a walk, whether it's, going on the elliptical, like whatever you like to do, get something in. I'm gonna tell you why this is so important. The key takeaway of all of this is get some type of activity in. It really doesn't matter, especially if you're doing 75 days. You're in this for the long haul. This is a marathon. Do something sustainable, even just as an experiment to see how your body reacts. Because at the beginning of the 75 challenge, I was like, I'm not seeing results. I feel like I'm gaining weight, but your body fluctuates. And that's where there's magic in this, because it's like you're committed. You just stick to it and see what happens. Now, when it came to giving up alcohol, that was probably one of the more challenging things, because my husband and I love to go out, for a date night, get a cocktail. I love me a good skinny margarita. I'm passionate about my margaritas. I also love a really good glass of wine. But what will happen, I'll go from 1 to 2 glasses of wine a week to 2 glasses of wine on Friday and Saturday to, meeting up with my girlfriends on Thursday, gonna get some margaritas. And then before you know it, I'm like drinking majority of days of the week, okay? Some people may hear that and be like, oh my gosh, do you have a problem? And then some people are gonna be like, yeah, I drink every single day. It was challenging at times when I wanted, especially a glass of wine, to create a separation from the workday to checking out, creating a boundary with glass of wine. I listened to that on a Mel Robbins podcast.
It is a lever because I work so hard that's like, oh, this is signaling to my brain that I can literally turn off the working brain and I can just shift down into, it's time to relax and not think about work mode.
Well, it becomes a boundary, right? And so I talk about
a boundary.
A lot of
whoa, wait a minute. So wait. So a drink becomes a boundary? That is genius.
I'm off the clock.
That was an epiphany for me that in some ways, having a drink serves as a barrier between work and checking out and relaxing. And I found as an alternative, I started going on a walk after work because, I work from home, I'm in front of a screen all day, I'll host conference calls, I lead these sessions, and it just drains me. And I just want to jump off a cliff into a pool, okay? And so instead what I'll do is I will go for a long walk and I'm a different person. And there's research around this. The channel Science of Self-Care, Robin, she does a really good job of explaining the science behind why getting outside for a walk is really good.
There's even one study that actually showed that activities around the 40% VO2 max level can actually work to decrease cortisol levels. So walking is different than most types of physical activity because it is not inducing a stress response on the body.
That's been a really great alternative for me when I'm like, gosh, I would love to just transition out of work mode. Getting out for a walk has been a great alternative for that. And to quickly touch on food, although we did not diet during this challenge, I do want to plug in here, of course, nutrition is a big aspect of staying in shape, but I think sometimes people take on too much too quickly. They try and change too much at once and it backfires. But a book that was recommended to me time and time again has been Fast Like a Girl. I've loved it. I find intermittent fasting is fantastic for me. And Fast Like a Girl teaches you how to fast along your cycle, which is a game changer. So I'll link that book for you below. So if you're still with me here, those are the tweaks. My work bestie and I followed that 75 medium program, and all those things really made a difference, and I'm gonna share with you why. And I'm gonna break them down into these pillars as I'm gonna refer to them. The first is the compound effect. To get results, you have to be consistent. And there have been times where women have reached out to me on Instagram and they're like, I've tried this program, that program, that program. I'm not getting results. I don't know what to do. I'm really frustrated. I'm going on this vacation. I really want to look good. What are you doing? And there's this sense of desperation. And I know that in anything I wanted to get results in, I cannot help but be like obsessed with that thing until I figure it out. But it's the wrong thing to do because you're constantly looking at when am I going to get results? When am I going to get results? And you find yourself switching from one thing to the next. We've got to give things a chance. We've got to be consistent. It's one of the reasons why I have started seeing an esthetician. I am no longer falling for influencers pushing a new, this is now my favorite cleanser. This is now my favorite vitamin C. I'm not doing retinol anymore. I'm doing copper peptides. Like, no, I'm not playing those games anymore. I'm seeing an esthetician. I'm doing exactly what she tells me to do, and I'm not even playing that game anymore, okay? I'm staying consistent. It takes a while for things to work. We gotta give it a chance. So doing this challenge forces you to experience the compound effect. We've all done things maybe for a month. Have you ever done something consistently for 2.5 months? Because it's almost like after that month point, that's when things really start compiling. Around like the 35-day mark, my neighbor was like, Rachel, what are you doing? You look like you haven't had a carb in months. Like I was getting lean. I was like, oh wow, okay. All right. And that's when I was like, wow, there is something to this. So this compound effect, not only of working out every day, but you're staying hydrated every single day. You're not letting alcohol disrupt your progress. You're also replacing scrolling on your phone at night for doing things like reading. And just in general, you're seeing where your time is going and being so much more intentional about it because you have these priorities. And then even with the progress photos, I would look back at my progress photos and recognize, wow, my body fluctuates quite a bit. And there's this kind of acceptance you learn when you're like, all right, I'm in this for the long haul. We're gonna see where this goes. I'm gonna sustain judgment until the end. So the compound effect is huge. Another pillar of this that makes it work is letting go. especially again, if you're like me and you can't help but like get obsessive about something you want to fix, you cannot help but think when you're starting a new diet, a new workout program, is it working? Am I seeing anything better? Oh my gosh, no, I still see cellulite there. Oh, I feel like I'm gaining weight. Oh my gosh, maybe I need to switch this. There's like this panic. I'm gonna tell you the things that have worked for me in my life is when I just like let it go, see what happens. And one analogy, like I've been preparing this kind of outline for this video, is we've all probably experienced when you have a crush on someone or you're like dating someone and you're really into them and you feel like you're more into them than they are into you. It's almost like you push them away, because they can feel your desperation, they can feel your neediness. Also vice versa. If you start dating someone and you feel like they're really into you, it's kind of a turnoff. And when you're so invested with doing the right thing, you end up pushing that thing away versus being okay with or without. Like when you're like, you know, you let it go, that's when he texts you back. That's when he's showing buying signs. You know what I mean? Like we all know these principles. So when I stop caring about the results of a workout, that's when I see the result. When I stop caring about whether or not I have a cookie, that's actually when I'm not so interested in having a cookie. But this obsession of what you should or shouldn't do just pushes things away. There are books on this. I'm gonna link one. It is called Letting Go. And it just helps you really get this concept, because I think a lot of us need to remember this. This final pillar here is everything, and something that in this world of instant gratification, many of us have lost sight of, and that is discipline. Without it, our life lacks structure, we lose trust with ourselves with each and every failed promise, and it creates this downward spiral. But when you start regaining trust with yourself and wow, I am working out every day. Oh my gosh, I'm 30 days in with this challenge. Oh my gosh, I'm 40 days in. Wow, I can actually do this. It's so encouraging. And to me, those are the things that actually contribute towards happiness. When I feel so proud of myself and there's all this hope and possibility of what potential is, versus when I doubt myself and I lose reason to trust myself. Do you necessarily need to take a progress photo every day to become a better person? No, but it's the act of doing something. It's the act of following up with a commitment that builds into other things. And the thing is, I know that plenty of people are gonna watch this video and be like, that's not realistic for me. I can't do it for this reason. You know, all the excuses. And I would say that they're understandable excuses, but it's also a shame. Because when you forego challenging yourself, you miss out on a lot. You don't really get to experience your potential or even have any inkling of what your potential could be. To be honest with you, I did not think I'd ever be able to go 75 days without a drink, which is kind of sad. And then you're like, well, how are you gonna get pregnant? That's a whole different ball game. I was just so proud of myself that I did that. And the thing is, like, what's crazy is at the end of this program, I've like treated myself to a really nice pair of Prada slides, which is kind of shameful that I would spend so much on shoes, but I've been eyeing them forever and I do wear them all the time. But I mean, it paled in comparison to how I felt when I completed this long challenge. It's just like opened up other epiphanies for me in my life and like what actually makes a difference. So that's a video for another day. Okay, so up to this point, I've shared with you how I accidentally figured this out with this 75 medium challenge, the things I did that really make a difference, why I think it's so impactful. You got the compound effect, you got discipline, and then also letting go. So all those things is what like I think really set this in motion and really make it impactful. With those things in mind, you could probably tweak it to something that's more aligned with what you want to do. But how do I know these things actually worked? Well, first of all, when I finished the program, okay, I took some days off of working out and the compound effect actually started going in the other direction. One day of zero activity, another day of zero activity. You know, before you know it, it's been a week and I haven't even left the house. My mood started falling. Like I felt like I was just irritable and in this dark place. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I haven't moved my body in a week. I started drinking more. There's always an excuse to drink, but it was like this compound effect went in the other direction. It kind of took me to a low place, but it's like kind of a good thing because it makes me realize how important all this is, to the extent that now much of these tasks, whether I'm doing a 75 challenge or not, I prioritize it because I know it's a part of my formula. It makes such a difference for me. So another reason why I know these things worked is because when I stopped doing them, obviously the leanness went away. And it's really not a big deal for me. You know, there's this phrase I love and it goes like, weight's like money, it comes and goes. I know if I ever want to be supermodel status, I just do these things and it's just easy. It really is so easy. But more than that, more than being lean, I feel so much better when I have this discipline and this structure in my life. So, and then also, thank goodness, I did this challenge with my work bestie because we were able to compare notes, and she had a similar experience. She also got really lean. She also felt so much happier in general around having the structure. And also when she stopped, she started drinking quite a bit, and it just kind of, you fall into bad habits. So it's just something to be aware of, because you don't want to like the pendulum to swing the other way, but you can always go back to it. And this friend of mine, she's actually starting the challenge all over again. So with that, all the things I covered, hopefully I have a level of credibility here. I really hope this encourages you to try either this challenge or something similar so that you have the opportunity to be proud of yourself. But the overall theme here is that the thing that's easy to do is just as easy not to do. And with just a subtle tweak and just some encouragement and some discipline, you will be astounded with the results you can get. And so what I love so much about posting videos like this one is the feedback in the comments, because there is this level of like, am I crazy? Maybe I am crazy. But to even hear when people have similar experiences to me, just like as some of the other videos I've posted, it's so encouraging. And it's why I feel like in many ways, this is my life's purpose, is to spread this word. So many women are wasting so much time, so much real estate in their mind is devoted to doing whatever they can to get in shape. And it doesn't have to be hard. It's actually really easy. I'm gonna link some other resources that have really been paramount for me. But if you have any questions, please be sure to comment below. Thank you so much for being here. If you do like the video, would love if you like it. If you want to see more videos like this one, then be sure to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.